Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the most recommended characters that you guys should be pulling on the Valentine Super rerun here. And this was actually something recommended to me by Najox yesterday, in which he hit me up inside of my DM saying, hey, would you guys like a infographic on things to actually help people know what to pull for the Valentine Super rerun, seeing a lot of the female characters who are really busted are coming back. And I say, you know what? Yeah, I'll take that. Just go ahead and send me the infographic, and the man did just that. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a lot. If you want to stay up to date with anything P5X related, whether you're on global, JPCN, KRTW, check down below in the description. There should be a Discord link called Gotcha Metaverse, which I try to keep all of you guys as updated as possible, as well as a little fun hangout zone. So you could hang out with me, or you can find some other people that you want to hang out as well in the community. But with that all wrapped up, let's get into it. Well, don't worry about the count in the back. It's going to be something I'm going to be announcing later on, of course, or a different video. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and focus on the main premise of this video. So on the screen here, you should be going ahead and seeing Twitter pop on up here, and which should be on Najox's actual Twitter account. If you guys have not followed Najox just yet, be sure to do so. He is an absolute amazing person here. He does anything with infographics, whether it is like gym guides, builds in general like that. So before I make any of my build videos, I usually double check this guy, because man, he is always on point when it does come down to anything that he usually does. So as always, give him a follow. He's absolutely amazing. But he ended up making us a nice little infographic here, going over the Valentine's Day Super rerun here, in which next update for CN, and I think in like 2 weeks for us on TW and KR, we will get this banner. This banner is going to be bringing back Bowie, Queen, Horde, Summer Closer, Summer Moko, Futaba, Haru, and then you're going to have, of course, the standard characters being Panther, Marion, Ren, Riddle, and Phoebe. So the first things that we're going to go ahead and go about here, you have the standard characters, and then you have the limited characters. If you guys are still new to the game, which I'm predicting a lot of you guys, if you're starting at this update here, a lot of you will be kind of new here. Well, the standard characters here are all characters you can get off the standard banner. They're usually going to be available off of tickets that are going to be the golden tickets for a lot of you guys, and that's going to be these dudes right here. If we go ahead and take a look at the actual banner here, you're going to be looking at these. That's what these guys are. These are all standard characters off the standard banner, so you don't really want to pay attention to them, guys. Can pull them if you like, but I would highly suggest you not, because if you lose a 50-50, usually that means you're going to be getting one of those guys anyways. And of course, if you go ahead and just pull on the regular standard banner, you can get those. So we're going to ignore those at the bottom. What we're really going to pay attention is the limited characters at the top, being Bowie, Queen, Cord, Summer Closer, Summer Moko, Futaba, and Haru. These characters are going to be huge. You have the main lightning DPS that we currently have, which is Bowie. We have the main nuke DPS in the game, which is a single target nuke as well, being Makoto. Horde being a universal support that helps out with highlights. Closer being a actual monster of an AoE blessed DPS. Moko being a really good healer for the side DPSs over there, which is actually very important for some of you guys. Oracle or Futaba being the best Navi in the game here, and then Haru being our main Sai DPS here, who's also an AoE side DPS. So there's a lot of things to choose from. There's going to be a ton of things to really choose from. And how this banner is going to look, if you guys can go ahead and pay attention to the screen once again here, it's going to look something like this, where it's going to be a list of just different characters, and you will be able to pick 3 of these characters on the slot. Just imagine them all being, of course, the females of the day, and you can pick 3 of these guys, and you can kind of shift through which ones you want to get. Well, for the most important characters that you guys really want to go ahead and pay attention to here, one of the first ones that I will advise you guys to pay attention to is going to be Cord. Now, Cord is going to be the main character that I feel like a lot of you guys should be going ahead and going for. And luckily, me and Najox was on the same page with this one, where the first character you want to try to pull is definitely going to be Cord. Now, the reasoning for this is because this character does help out with attack buffs, helps out with critting, also does help out with damage bonuses and highlight spam. Highlights are a major thing inside of this game, in which really does bring forth the whole aspect of ultimates in this game. Unlike in HSR, where of course we have our own ult gauges here, the only thing we have is a highlight bar star that when it builds up to 100%, you then can use one of your character's highlights. These highlights can do a bunch of things, whether it's buffing, different defensive buffs, offensive buffs. For some characters, straight up damage. For other characters, straight up debuffing. So it's a lot of different things that can come into play. Well, with Cord here, it really revolutionized a lot of your DPS, is seeing that she can actually spam these highlights for you, and not just for herself. Her highlight herself is already good, giving you a massive damage bonus buff. But if you go ahead and use her skill 2, giving you a major buff, and then use her skill 3, her skill 3 will immediately refresh that highlight without using the highlight bar. You can just trigger this on any character that you do choose. If it is the DPS, she actually amplifies the damage that they can really do, and this is just immediately without using any of your highlight bar. So let's say your highlight bar is at 98%. Well, you got Cord's skill 3. I want to use that first. You use the skill 3. You would think it takes away the highlight bar. No, that skill 3 actually just is totally different. You went ahead, did your highlight with her skill 3. Then what you could end up doing is the next round, when you get that 100% in your highlight, you then can use that same character or another character's highlight once it is built. This character literally has revolutionized like P5X so much, and really, I've said this in multiple videos, this should be the first character you summon whether you're new to the game or not. Of course you guys can see this here. I am on a new account, and so this is the banner that normally you will get Cord and all these characters in, and it's going to be similar to how that does work in the update as well. So I would highly invest. If you guys don't have Cord, be sure to go ahead and get her, and then try to get her weapon, which is really broken as well, and which I'm trying to see if I can find it quick, because I do know that weapon's also very valuable. So you do want to try to get your hands on that weapon as well. But that's mainly what I just try to advise for you guys, but you guys can take that with a grain of salt and decide if you want to do it yourself in the long run. But anyways, the next character that we're going to be going over is going to be Futaba. Now, Futaba I don't have in the game right now because, of course, for new players, you cannot pull for her just yet, but she is actually incredibly worth it. This is going to be the first time that she's coming back, and for a lot of you guys, a lot of people ended up skipping her due to at least the time that was going on. Many people were going for Haru. Many people were just trying to see what was coming next and were trying to save. Well, a lot of things happen with this character. If you guys are familiar with HSR here, you do have Silverwolf. Silverwolf was able to weakness implant, and Futaba does this, but also has some extra things in her back pocket. So she's also able to, of course, weakness implant with other people as well, which is absolutely amazing for her whole entire kit, which really makes her really busted in general. She kind of has herself as a universal character that you guys definitely want to have for your DPS team. But alongside of this universality with at least weakness implanting, she's also able to increase not all your stats like other navies, but also give you shields. And this offers just her passive. One of her passives just gives you a little bit of a shield, which helps you out, but don't let that fool you. This character is not just a defensive Navi. She is wholeheartedly an offensive Navi. With her skill 1, she's actually able to decrease all enemies' defenses, which is by a lot too. And this is based on the amount of attack that you do have on this Navi. So the more attack, the more, of course, defensive percentage that you're going to be decreasing for a couple turns. That's going to be really helpful. But alongside of this here, she does help out your crit rate as well if you do decide to go for at least the A1. That's going to help when it comes down to building your DPS team, and I would highly suggest you guys to really go for this character because it's going to make your life a lot easier. If you decide not to go for her, that's going to be a little bit of a downer, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, these two, without a doubt, with everything that is coming, should be your first picks. Now, if you're a person who already has these two, technically you could very well skip, but there are some other recommendations that I could give you. One of the third recommendations is going to be Summer Moko, in which Summer Moko is pretty darn good. This character was a character that at first a lot of us did not think was going to be very useful, or at least at first she didn't have really a usability. Main reason for this is because at the end of the day, we didn't have a banner, or at least a banner character that needed to be using this character. She helps out with effect hit rate, and at that time, in case in point, we didn't really have anyone who needed all that EHR. Well, if you're going for Haru, that's going to be the character that you're going to go ahead and need. So Haru is a really good EHR user, of course, and she's Psy related. Well, Moko in general helps out with the healing as well as the follow-up heals that she ends up bringing to the field. But if you did want Haru, this is just another plus for you, because then you can go ahead and get her as your third pick and then try to get Haru as well, helping you out. But she's definitely the third recommended character I would go ahead and advise you getting. Any other ones, I mean, is kind of a little bit of like personal preference. Like, for example, I do like Summer Closer. That's a personal preference for you guys. She's not ultra crazy, but she is pretty darn good. Or if you wanted to go ahead and go for Makoto, you very well could. Same just goes for any of the limited characters, though I do advise please steer clear of any of the standard characters, because you don't want to make that mess up and get a standard character and then next thing you know you lose your 50-50 and you get the standard character anyways on a banner that you really wanted someone else. I would advise you guys to really go for these 3 characters for the most part. Me and the Jocks was really like actually head on when it came down to this, because I was actually thinking about it and I was like, maybe people want a video of this, and he hit me up with this and he showed me the list. I was like, this is actually perfect, because this is exactly what I want to see anyways with these. But I'm gonna let you guys decide on this, whether you want to get them or not. I have already heavily gave you my recommendations. Hopefully for at least the next update when it does come out, you guys will listen to these recommendations, because boy, they do change your account over. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Till next time, everybody, peace out.